Auteur Theory, presented by Jeff DeCruz. Early filmmakers showed the world that a movie director could be an artist, but not every director. Before auteur theory came to prominence, directors were important, but other factors were significant, such as stars, studios, and producers. People refer to a Clark Gable movie, for example, because during the 1930s, the stars ruled the day. The auteur theory came to prominence in the early 1950s. It shifted power away from actors, producers, and studio moguls to directors. So, what is auteur theory? It is the idea that the director is the author and primary creative force behind a movie. It seems strange to call the director of a film the author. After all, didn't someone else write it? Or why isn't the writer considered the film's author? One reason is that scripts change. Writers come and go. For example, we take Casablanca, considered one of the greatest movies of all time, has five credited writers. Yes, you do need a quality script, but the end product of a movie is the result of its execution. And the execution comes down to the director. The director will be the one helping each department execute the script. So if you ask who made a movie, the reply would be the director. The author of a film is the film's true artist, the visionary behind it. The origin. Director Francis Truffaut, writing as a critic in the French journal Cahiers du Cinéma, also known as Cinema Notebook, developed the concept of the author in his 1954 essay Un certain tendance du cinéma français, a certain trend in French cinema. Truffaut drew contrast between authors and directors of mainstream studio movies, who he dismissed as metteurs en scène, or stages of a script written by another artist. Truffaut argued that filmmakers who made the best films were those who wrote and directed their own films, and who had a unique and personal vision. Truffaut called the approach La politique des auteurs, the policy of the authors. Truffaut's ideas on film were embraced by an era of French filmmakers who were part of what he called La Nouvelle Vague, also known as the French New Wave. It was American critic Andrew Sarris who referred to Truffaut's manifesto as the auteur theory. So, what is the difference between author directors and other film directors? Authors wrote and directed films that went beyond surface level stories to ask bigger questions about human existence and explore deeper themes in a skillful way, whereas most directors translated scripts written by others to the screen. Authors usually write their own screenplays and have a hand in the writing process. Truffaut claimed there are no good or bad films, only good or bad directors. Why? The theory is that a director isn't necessarily a film artist, but an author is. A bad movie from an author was at least the work of an artist. The excellent film from an average director was wrong. Three components of auteur theory. So, Andrew Sarris, critic of the New York Times, expanded on Truffaut's writing and set out a comprehensive definition for authors. There were three main criteria: technical competence, distinguishable personality, and interior meaning. Technical competence. Authors must be at the top of their craft in terms of technical filmmaking abilities. Authors always have a hand in multiple components of filmmaking and should be operating at high levels. Distinguishable personality. What separates author from other directors is their unmistakable personality and style. When looking at an author's collected works, you can see shared filmmaking techniques and consistent themes being explored. One of the primary tenets of auteur theory is that authors make movies that are unmistakably theirs. Interior meaning. Authors make films that have layers and layers of meaning and have more to say about the human condition. Films made by authors reveal their unique perspectives and ruminations on life. In the terms of French, we have Jean-Luc Godard, who directed Breathless in 1960. American directors who embraced the auteur theory were Arthur Penn, who directed Bonnie and Clyde in 1967, Mike Nichols, The Graduate in 68, and Stuart Rosenberg, Cool Hand Luke in 1967. Hate against the author theory. Famous critic Pauline Kael led the charge against the author theory. John Huston, for example, was an excellent director of Hollywood's golden age who gets no love from the author theories and theorists. Instead, he's passed off of having made actors' films. Pauline Kael dismisses this as illogical. The theory champions lesser films. A bad movie by a great director is notable because it has some of his signature elements. If a director forces his style upon a movie where it might not belong, is he a good director? Well, the author theory says yes. Thank you for watching. Please tune in to my next presentation. Thank you.